Good morning to everyone. The wheel of time keeps turning. Where does this wheel take us? Where did we come from? Where are we going? Today, we are going to talk about this with a little humor, some proverbs, and cascade of examples. I will make it simple enough for even a thick skull to understand, if you will. I now remember a proverb: when in Rome, do as the Romans do. That is, whenever time takes us, we must follow its lead. Do you remember Kodak Company? In 1977, they had about 1,60,000 employees. 80% of the world's photographs were taken from with Kodak cameras. At one point, photography almost meant Kodak. But now, with the advent of the mobile cameras, Kodak simply vanished from the market. Finally, the company went bankrupt and all the employees lost their jobs. Out to the world in with the new. If we don't embrace the new, the old will disappear. Was Kodak Company the only company to face this fate? No. This list is quite long. HMT watches. At one time, every home had an empty HMT watch. Now, with smart watches, you can barely find an HMT. Back then, a watch just told the time. Now a watch tells you about your health. Let us make you let a, let it makes you calls, send messages. If a mere watch can change so much, how how can we expect to remain unchanged? Bajaj scooters. There was an advertisement. Bajaj Hamara, our Bajaj. Home family. Bajaj scooter. It was a symbol of family identity. Now, the scooter world has changed drastically with electric scooters, gearless scooters, and petrol scooters. Bajaj has, however, returned with its electric scooter, an example of adapting to the times. Dayanara TV, Murphy Radio. At one time, these were the names for TVs and radios. To watch TV, you had a specific time and specific channels. Now, the world has changed with LED, OLED, streaming, Netflix, Amazon Prime. The phone in your hand is small TV. The era of just listening to songs on a radio is gone. We can now listen to thousands of songs and podcasts on specific Ghana. Next, I come to Nokia mobiles. Connecting people, there was no one without Nokia mobile. The 1100 model was the best selling mobile phone globally. But with the advent of the smartphones, Nokia ceased to be Nokia. The reason was their hesitation to enter the world of touchscreen and apps. Rajdoot bikes and ambassador cars. These two vehicles were like kings at one time. Owning an ambassador car was a matter of prestige, but now, with new models, technology, and electrical vehicles, they were disappeared. None of these companies had poor quality products. Why? So, why could not they survive? There is only one reason. They could not adapt to changing timings. No man is an island. No matter how big a company, if it does not change with the times, it will either it will wither away with its own isolated world. The fourth industrial revolution are invisible vibrations. You would not even dream of how much the world could change in the next 10 years. 70 to 90% of today's jobs will completely disappear in the next 10 years. We are slowly entering the era of the fourth industrial revolution. The main feature of the revolution is digitalization. Look at the big companies today. Uber. This is a software company. They do not own even a single car. Yet, they are the largest taxi company in the world. You book a ride and car comes to your doorstep. This is the physical service. Airbnb. This is the largest hotel company in the world, but they do not own a single hotel. People rent out their homes and rooms. They are merely connecting bridge. Similarly, we can't list countless companies like Paytm, Cab, Oyo, Swiggy, Zomato, etc., etc. All of them operate on a digital platform. They do not own any physical assets. What they create is a platform, a foundation. The entire world today is connected on these platforms. There is a proverb. Actions speak louder than words. Previously, physical labor was important. Now, it is about thought and software. Currently, new lawyers in America are struggling to find jobs. Do you know why? There is a legal software called IBM Watson. It can read millions of legal books and billions of judgments in an instant and argue much better than any new lawyer. The work that would take a lawyer days to reach for a case, this software can do in seconds. As a result, almost 90% of the American lawyers will be out of work in the next 10 years. The remaining 10% will be experts who know how to use software and only they will have their jobs. New doctors will also be jobless. Watson software can detect cancer and other diseases with 4 times the accuracy of human doctors. Using all the data in a human doctor would have to research patient history, medical journals, research papers, etc. etc. Artificial intelligence, otherwise called as AI, will surpass human intelligence by 2030. AI is not only diagnosing diseases but also beginning to assist in drug development and even surgeries. There is a proverb: knowledge is endless, but life is short. No matter how much you are studied, if you don't embrace the new knowledge, you will fall behind. Continuous learning is the secret to success from now on. Next, 90% of the cars on roads will disappear in the next 20 years. The remaining cars will be electric or hybrid. Do you know why? Self-driving cars are coming. Roads will slowly become empty. Petrol consumption will decrease and oil producing Arab nations will gradually go bankrupt. These Arab nations have already understood this and have started investing in other industries like tourism and renewable energy instead of relying solely on oil sales. If you want a car, you will ask a software like Uber. As soon as you ask, a driverless car will arrive at your doorstep. Just like you will get off at a bus stop, your car will come and pick you up at your doorsteps. If you travel with many people in the same car, the fare per person will be less than even a bike rental. This is called ride sharing. If vehicles drive without drivers, the number of accidents will decrease by 99%. The reason is that 90% of the accidents are caused by human error. If the accidents decrease, car insurance will cease and the car insurance companies will become jobless. Car drivers around the world have no means for livelihood. When 90% of the vehicles disappear from the fields, traffic, police, and other parking attendants will not be needed. Driverless delivery vehicles are also on the way. There is a proverb: make hay while the sun shines. Adapt while you have time, or you will become obsolete. You must recognize and act on the change in advance. Just think, even 10 years ago, where there were STD booths on every street corner, if you wanted to make a call, you would put a token and talk. With the mobile revolution, all these STD booths were forced to close. What happened to the people who worked there? The smart ones shifted to mobile recharge shops. Then came online revolution in mobile recharge. People started recharging their mobiles online from home. These recharge shops had to switch over to the other businesses again. Now these shops are only buy, sell and repair mobile phones. But even this will change very soon. Mobile phone sales directly from Amazon, Flipkart, etc. are increasing. If a product breaks, it is now trendy to buy a new one rather than getting it repaired or serviced. There is a proverb: once bitten, twice shy. Our experience is enough. Learn from it and change next time. We must learn from the changes that have happened before us. The meaning of money is also changing. Previously, cash was on hand. Now, it has become plastic money. Credit cards and debit cards were in circulation a few years ago. Now that too is changing, and the era of mobile wallets is approaching. The growth of Paytm, GPay, and PhonePe has ushered in the era of mobile money. You can buy everything you need without physical cash. Soon, new forms of money like cryptocurrency will also survive. Alright, you might think these are all about the big companies and major industrial changes. But have you ever thought about how this fourth industrial revolution has permeated our daily lives every single moment? Proverb, every little helps. They might seem to be little changes, but these are the ones which will have a big impact. Need to go to shopping? Amazon is enough. Before you wanted to buy anything, you had to go to shop, spend time and bargain. Now, a mobile phone, a tablet, a laptop is enough. These are There are countless apps like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra. Order in a minute and it arrives at your doorstep. If you order in the morning, it comes in the evening or the next day. This is not just convenience. It has transformed the lives of many retailers. They are now compelled to engage in online commerce to compete. Even for a small cold or cough, you had to go to the doctor's, wait for in the waiting room, pay the fee, and then get seen. Now, telemedicine has arrived. You can talk to the doctor on a video call, get prescription. Very soon, telemedicine will become a major part of healthcare. Even people in villages can get advice from the specialist doctors located anywhere in the world. Before, people used to say they could not start their day without a newspaper or a cup of tea and a cigarette. Now, most newspaper organizations provide their news in the digital format on mobile applications. World news is at your fingertips in an instant. Newspaper printing companies, distributors, paper delivery boys, all their jobs are countlessly changing. At one time, it was a movie, it was movie theaters, then TV. Now, streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Hotstar are live. We can watch what we want, when we want, where we want. This has brought huge changes in the film and television industries. The COVID period taught us a lesson. We could study online from home. Yet tech companies have grown. A great teacher, no matter where they are in the world, can have us join their class. This is also transforming traditional education systems. In the 1940s, the children would only start schools at 5 or 6 years old. Computer and tablets were unimaginable at that time. Slates and chalk were their educational assets. If chalk ran out, they should write on the walls or with the fingers in the sand. They prepared a book like a treasure. They preserved their textbooks like a treasure for the entire year. They would only start learning English from the sixth standard only. But now everything is available to the children at an young age. Before they are mixers and grinders. Now smart kitchen appliances have arrived. You can now operate kitchen appliances with voice assistants like Google Assistant and Alexa. You can get instant information on where to buy ingredients and how to cook. With food delivery apps, Swiggy, Zomato, people don't have time to cook, can order the food immediately. In the 1940s, it was a firewood and mud stoves. There were, there were no mixies or grinders, only grinding stones, article, ammical. Security. If you have a CCTV camera at home, you can view it from your phone. If someone enters your house and you are outside, you will get an alert. Smart locks have arrived to lock and unlock the doors. In the early 1940s, there were no street lights or absolutely no electricity at homes. A bicycle was a great luxury. Bullock cars, house cars were like autos. Bus transport was limited. Next, nowadays, every house has borewells and motors for water. But in the early 1940s, people would go to the rivers, ponds, and lakes with buckets or some small pots to bathe. Four to 10 houses would share one well. Clothes were washed in the river beds and shikai, arapu were used instead of soap. Now we can't even imagine these things. In the early 1940s, it was only government hospital and local doctors who are now being called as quacks. Bottle medicines were popular. Injections, capsule medicines were a marvel. Traditional medicine and grandmother's remedies were the norm. It was a time when people feared smallpox and cholera. But now everything has changed with super specialist doctors and advanced hospitals. Now there are video games, mobile games, but in the 1940 school sports were only limited with running race and limited exercises, etc. etc. In the evening, children used to play loudly in the streets. Daily temple pujas, festivals, discourses, plays, bhajans were the main entertainment on those days. Crowds would gather at houses that had a radio to listen. People will go by cycle to touring talkies to watch movies. Vendors selling traditional sweets like Javu Mithai, Bombay Mithai would tie them on the wrist on the children like watches. Now there are no signs of such. In the early 1940s, politics were all about freedom struggle and talks about Gandhiji. Even dogs, bicycles had municipal and panchayat passes. If an error occurred on a typewriter, it would be overwritten and it will be looking messy. Now you can correct it on a computer in a second without a trace of a mistake. If you would if you would have brought a postcard, you can send it to the entire India anywhere. That is half an anna postcard cost. Now courier charges minimum 100 rupees. The arrival of the gramophone plate with Soviet leader crucial speech on the national anthem when he visited India was a great joy on those days. Now all the world informations are available at the fingertips on the internet. All these changes have happened in a few years. Think about how many changes will come in next 5, 10, or 20 years. All these changes brought cause cause us fear. The thought, oh no, will we lose our jobs? Might arise. But there is no need to fear. Fortune favors the brave. If we face these changes fearlessly, with confidence, success is guaranteed. What we need to do 1. Learn new skills, upskill and reskill. From now on, job opportunities will depend on learning abilities. There is a lot to learn in the fields of like AI, coding, data science, robotics, digital marketing, cloud computing, cyber security, etc. We need to learn how AI and software can help us in the current jobs. Embrace change. Necessity is the change of is the mother of change. Every living being in the world has a way. If we embrace this change and adapt ourselves, we too will find a way. No matter how much AI develops, human skills like love, compassion, creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, and emotional intelligence cannot be acquired by AI. If we develop these skills, we will always be one step ahead of AI. Platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, LinkedIn are not just for entertainment, they can also be used for education, business, and developing new skills. Through this, we can build your personal brand. Time will remove those who cannot adapt to its pace from the world. Therefore, keep changing with the times. Time is gold. Don't waste time. Move forward with the time. Adapt yourselves to the timings. Keep progressing with the times. These changes are coming to improve our lives. Let us face them with an open mind. Thank you all.